And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Where were you the last 4 days? Where were you? Oh, well, we're glad you're back. We had basketball, and then we had the weekend, and then you had soccer stuff and all that stuff. I'm Dave Allgood, along with me, Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry. And we're glad you're here. Good weather's on tap, but we'll talk about that in a second. It's Monday, March 27th, and it's Stewart's Day, the state holiday commemorating the deal between Russia and the United States to purchase Alaska. And I'm your host for the next hour. That's me, Dave, and this is... Who are you again?
Melissa.
It's been so long.
Melissa. 4 days. So we're
Yes.
going some good stories for you there today. You got me off guard there. But we are going to tell you a story about a special phone booth in Kansas. Interesting twist on this. It's an old school rotary dial phone, but you don't have to know the number that you're calling. It has a direct link to the wind, how it's helping the healing process.
This is really a cool story and some about letting go.
Yeah.
Letting go. Yep. And in the All Good News, an impressive cookie jar collection in a big furniture store here in town, and you'll recognize the name. We'll have that for you coming up. But of course, the weather, of course, is always what's on people's minds, and it's warmer.
The question is, how much more snow are we going to get this season?
Wait, what?
Yeah, 95.7 inches so far for this season.
Will we make 100?
Yeah, will we make 100? I kind of hope we do, just because why
You're
not,
a weather
right?
you're a weather nerd. Yeah,
Why not? But let me show you. We do have some snow in the forecast, none falling right now.
Tune for our news programs coming up at 5:30 and in 6. Well, he's seen a lot of sadness in his 97 years, from the horrors of World War II to the death of his wife. But this Illinois vet isn't slowing down. As Danny Valley reports, he still has a job to do.
Just don't sit down and quit.
Just keep moving. The Illinois Oil and Gas Association says Ben Brook is the oldest living oil well worker in the state and the country, and maybe even in the world. That's impressive. Keep moving. All right, last year we introduced you to a young hero. He was playing basketball when the ref... Happy Monday, everybody. They were in the middle of a basketball game when the ref collapsed. But as Steve Hartman reports, one of the players knew just what to do to bring him back.
Not watching Alaska's weather source.
And welcome back, everybody. You know, Melissa, it seems like the moose are very restless, and that is a big sign here in Alaska of spring, no?
Oh, is it? Yeah, maybe that's an old whitetail there.
Could be.
We do know this time of year there's a ton of snow still in the mountains, so that does send moose back to 20s overnight. So a little snow here and there, still definitely in the forecast, but plenty of sunshine to go around too.
Well, we're going for 100.
100, yes,
100
100 inches.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Thanks, Melissa. Well, the rest of you, you don't need an 800 number to reach heaven. No, it's right here on my phone. Here. No, I'm kidding. It's in Kansas. They've got a direct line. How the Japanese-inspired wind phone is helping.
Phone booth to nowhere, but it's meant to jumpstart the healing process.
Yeah, it's near a Kansas park, and as Jae-on Kim reports, this wind phone is part of a Japanese practice used for processing grief.
Today's dollars. So again, a really significant event, Dave, and as traumatic as that was and devastating, what's good about it is we learned so much just about plate tectonics, but also about tsunamis and how they work and how to warn our communities here across the state. And today we are so better off because of that earthquake.
Yeah, Melissa, first of all, amazing information, and you were just free I was watching you, and you're going off the top of your brain with all that information, which is really amazing. But wow, the largest in the world?
Second largest in the world.
That's still good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, wow, that's amazing. I learned a lot today. Thank you so much. That's informative. All right, a couple of coworkers now have a common bond. A Massachusetts teacher and his family are grateful after his superintendent saved his life. Julie McDonald explains.
If a kid didn't...
I'm Dave Allgood with Alaska's News Source. Coming up, we're going to meet Ron. Now, you may know Ron from Bailey's Furniture. This is Ron Bailey. But did you know...
Dave?
Yes.
I love cookie jars.
And he cannot lie. That's coming up on the All Good News. Welcome back, everybody. You know, Ron Bailey, he knows furniture, but he also has a nose for those cool jars you keep baked goods in.
I had no idea that this was happening in the store. So Bailey's Furniture Store, household name here in the state of Alaska. But as Dave will show you in today's All Good News, there's something even bigger inside the store. And all you have to do is look up to be a part of the art.
These cultural works of art are the functional faces of confectionery confinement.
Somehow it has to do with connection, though. You know, you connect with whatever it is that you're in love
And
with.
boy, did Ron Bailey find his collection connection.
I do not remember the first cookie jar.
But here they all are, lining the shelves of his large furniture store, ceramic characters, Lucy and Ricky, the Three Stooges, Bugs Bunny. Ron does recall.
I remember why I bought the first cookie jar, though. So me and my wife were starting a little used furniture store, and we were trying to figure out a cool phone number. And we came up with COOKIE, cookie.
And that was back in
1998, maybe?
So what was just a cute idea for store decor became a bit of an obsession.
21, 22, 23, 24.
How obsessed? If you pop into Bailey's Furniture here in Anchorage, you'll see
We have approximately 700 cookie jars.
apples to oranges, Tweety to Dopey, even these Bailey ones. The cookie design runs the gamut of the decades and mark a cultural history of sorts.
There's everything from 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way up.
So when you look out at all this stuff here, all these cookie jars, what comes to mind? And I see a VW bus up there. That's really groovy.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Each one of them's got a memory that I like. There's something about it that I liked.
Howdy Doody, Looney Tunes, Grimace and a Goose, Woody Woodpecker and Yogi Bear all sitting and staring.
I'm sure you'll show a picture of the cute little pig over there that my grandma had when I was a kid.
Ron, well, he...
I can't help it.
W.C. Fields, a chicken and a toaster. There are just so many. And if you think this is just a gimmick, think again.
I really like them. They're just like people. You know, all of us are a little quirky. I got a bunch of quirky cookie jars.
Thank you so much for the cookie. That's very sweet.
You're
I
welcome.
don't think I can eat all of it, though. Do you have anywhere I can put the rest of this cookie to keep it fresh for a little bit? Like a jar, maybe?
Ron says maybe he's got a collecting issue.
And my wife thinks that, once again, I'm crazy. Sell them all, Ron.
And although the cookie may crumble,
Cookie jar is happiness, Dave.
and so it seems, nobody knows the long journey these jars endured to land up here.
Sort of what Bailey's Furniture is. It's like heaven for cookie jars.
So if you're ever in here, just look up to see what made somebody else smile a while ago. Cookie jars.
I should have put those cookies in there.
The Allgood news.
My first question is, how many of the jars have cookies?
None.
None.
None, no. But he went, Ron was very nice. He went next door to the Subway and bought some.
Nice.
He said, yeah, he was all in. Ron's
Yeah.
a funny guy. Had fun shooting that story. Thank you, Ron. Amazing collection. He says he'd probably have a lot more, but his wife keeps him in check.
Not too many cookies.
Yeah.
And when we had our last big earthquake, we were just talking about the big one, but the other big one back in 2018, he lost 125 of
He
those
was
cookie
sad.
jars.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
would
was
be
sad.
sad too. He wanted to say thanks to all of his customers who have helped bring in and buy cookie jars to them to add to the collection. I've been in there and I didn't notice the cookie jars. How did I not? I was focused on the beds and the dressers.
Yeah,
and
you're
things.
like, wow, furniture, yes. And by the way, those cookie jars now are secured with some museum putty. So,
Smart.
yeah.
That's what we need to do here. Yeah.
All right. Thanks again to Mr. Ron Bailey. All right, here's what's coming up with Nora O'Donnell on CBS 5 at 5.
We've got a lot of news.
Seriously injured and were turned over to the custody of U.S. Border Patrol. For Take a Look at This, I'm Cole Higgins.
The bird was in a cage. It's fine. It's fine. She was so worried.
And behind a window. But can you imagine looking out and then an owl's just there, thighs?
Yeah, and he was just like, hey, what's going on?
Hey, I want to come inside.
Anyway,
Hang
the weather seems not too shabs, as
too
the kids say, shabs.
Yeah, we just have that little bit of light snow.